Hi, baby. How was work? That's good. Did you have a good sleep? Oh, man. How long has it been since you've gone to sleep? I remember the first time I ever got to sleep with you. What's it been now? 3 years? Well, at any rate, here. I made you breakfast. When you have a second, you should come sit in the living room with me. There's a full moon just outside. I think I even saw a shooting star. I made a wish. What was the wish? Well, if I tell you, it won't come true, silly. I wished for the courage to finally get to confess my love to you. Yeah, that's the great thing about living in the country. We always get to see the most beautiful aurora borealis. Actually, hold on. I think somewhere around here. I still have that photo. Yeah, the one from our honeymoon back in the 1300s. Give me a minute. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. No, look at you. It was right after we graduated, too. Look, you're still wearing your high school prom suit. Man, you looked so good back then. I mean, you still do. I didn't mean to make it sound like you don't look good now. Well, even if I did mean it, we've been friends for like 20 years. I've earned the right to talk to you like a sibling. Actually, that's even weirder. Forget I said that. I'm sorry. This is why I hate the mornings. I can never think straight. All I can think about is gorgeous men. Just men all over the place. Love it. You're used to it? What the heck does that mean? Stop being silly and eat your lunch. There's a special surprise in there for you. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll give you a hint. It has nothing to do with the placebo effect and instead relies on material presence. Yeah? Do you like it? I made it with the help of that chainsaw you bought at the convention 3 years ago. I'm kind of surprised the blood hadn't washed off by this point, but hey, it still had power. Come on. God forbid a boy makes a mistake once in his life. I was only 13. That was like 10 years ago. Okay, well, to be fair, I didn't believe in the Frosty the Snowman tale. You told me that it was fictitious. I felt obligated to prove you right. You cannot blame the chainsaw for being within 2 miles of me. Hey, you were the one who bought it, not me. Besides, we've had like 7 years to get away from the cops, so, it's not really a big deal anymore. Look, can't we just let sleeping dogs lie? Besides, that's not important. What's important is I kind of need to tell you something. I love you. Like, more than just as a friend. I've had a crush on you for years now. Ever since you picked up my eraser back when I started interning at your company. Just the way you held out that uber dry brand fine tip stainless steel birthday cake scented white eraser to me. That look in your eyes. How mildly perturbed you were that I just knocked over your trash can. You stole my heart. I wish you didn't look like my brother. Actually, you know what? Why don't we not get married? Why don't we just break up right now? Go our separate ways. We've had a good run, but I think if you really love someone, you gotta learn to let them go. Yeah? You're down? Great. Then how about I marry you anyway? Because we can get married, we can have a family. Yeah, and then maybe by the time I graduate, I might even have a job. Now, do you want a convertible or a sedan? Neither? You want horseback? Ooh. Well, that'll be hard to fit in the apartment, especially with the landlord being allergic to horse sneezes, but screw it, we'll make it work. I'll get you the prettiest pony you ever did see. Actually, I got to go on a special school trip when I was in grade school thanks to a program I was a part of. So they let only children with no siblings, like me for example, they let me go on special trips, like, zoos, aquariums. Sometimes it even let me go with other people. It was mostly to shut down the allegations that the school buses were secret taxis to Area 51, which I also did get to go to, by the way. E.T. looks very different without all the makeup on. But one time, we got to go to a ranch. Yeah, they let me ride the cows, the chickens, the saber-toothed tigers, the elephants, the trees. At one point, they even let me hop on the back of a horse. Yeah, they were the only farm, the only ranch in the entire country that trained people to ride horses. It was really scary at first, but, well, I'll never forget it. So I got used to it. He was a really big horse, and, he was a little agitated because I was blasting the national anthem at volume 100 on my phone, and I packed both of my Bluetooth speakers with me, so they were both in my front pockets, and I wasn't wearing pants that day, so he bucked me off. I fell onto my back, and I blacked out for a couple of months. But a few minutes later, when I woke up, the teacher said I was actually lucky enough to have landed on Saturn during my fall, so I was lucky. I avoided getting any kind of serious injury. Yeah, they had to close the ranch down after that. I'm pretty sure they even set the horse that bucked me off on fire, too. Joke's on us. He ended up becoming a Hollywood celebrity after that. Every time I see him in one of those stupid flaming horse movies, I always think, smarmy jerk. Anyway, that was when I was about 40 years old. A few days before I met you, actually. Actually, I think tomorrow marks the 6-year anniversary since that happened. Oh, man. You never really realize how much time flies until you look back on the past, huh? Like, time's always moving. You can never quite master it. Unless you become a chrono time wizard. And no one's got time to do that anymore. Instead, we're always so busy focusing on the sky. It's always there. It's always blue. No matter what day it is, it's always blue. Unless it's nighttime, then it's black. And unless it's sunset, then it's orange and red. And on July 4th, it's red, light, and blue. And on July 1st, it's red and white. And at nighttime, it's black, and, it gets to the point where you kind of have to acknowledge that you never learned how to ride a tricycle. Are you done with your dessert? Okay, well, why don't we go sit by the fire? We can watch the neighbors set up their trampoline. Yeah. I think we have a few minutes before winter hits. What do you say? You wanna sit on a couch with me? Here. Help me light the candle. Oh crap. I think we just set the house on fire. Well, we got a few minutes before we gotta call 911. Hold me, baby. You're so comfy. Yeah, sure, I'll marry you. But not before marriage, okay? I still need to buy you a ring. I'm working on it. The Pentagon is pretty hard to raid, but if you give me a few weeks, I'll figure something out. Just, look, let's not think about that right now, okay? Let's just watch the waves roll by. Beautiful. I think getting an apartment on the top floor was worth it. Living underground was getting difficult. Oh, speaking of which, did you make a wish? Yeah, a wish. You're supposed to make a wish each time you hear an owl go, ooh, ooh. No, I can do better. Ooh, ooh. No, come on. Yeah, something like that. Well, you should probably make that wish soon. We're about to drown, so now would be a good time. Yeah? You wish for some peace and quiet? In, what way? You wish that I would shut up? Oh, that's a good wish. Wait a minute. Alright, fine. Have it your way. Oh, and, babe? Thank you, for being my favorite person ever. No, seriously, thank you. You're always there for me, and, I vent to you a lot, but you always lend an ear. I really appreciate it. I know I don't express that as much as I wish I could, but, well, I really appreciate you being here. Like, sometimes when I have a problem, I need someone to talk to, and not a solution, just someone to acknowledge what I'm going through. And you're really good at that, and I really appreciate it. I know you already know this, but I love you. Almost as much as I love Control Plus C. Wait a second. When was rental due again? Oh, crap. I forgot to... Well, okay, long story short, I forgot to renew my existence subscription, which means at any moment, and I need you to listen very, very carefully, I am liable to cause a space-time anomaly capable of plunging this timeline into a heat death of apocalypse.